Hello, good morning, all of you. Today we are going to discuss about the factor influencing on the reactivity. Why any reactions can happen? What the chemistry of behind that? What exactly happening when some of the reactants, some of the compounds reacts with another, some of will not. What exactly happened there? So what is the difference between their reactivity? Which factors are influencing their reactivities, their nucleophilicity, their electrophilicity. Okay, so accordingly, some of the factors are there. So we will discuss one by one. Okay, so first one, the contents are hyperconjugations, inductive effect, resonance, conjugative or mesomeric effect, steric effect, and hydrogen bonding. So these are the factors that influencing the reactivity of the reactor. Okay, so in the introductions, chemistry has been defined as a study of the matter in terms of its structure, compositions, and the properties. The matter is made up of the molecule and the molecule made up by the atoms, and therefore an understanding of the structure of the molecule is very important to identify their reactivity, to identify their application, their reactivity, their composition. So for that, the structure of that particular molecule, it's very much important to understand. Okay, the factors influencing on the reactivity. So that is the electronic factors that influence the organic reactions includes the inductive effect, electromeric effect, mesomeric effect, steric effect, hyperconjugation, and hydrogen bonding. These are six major effect or major effect for that affect the reactivity. Okay, so we will discuss this one by one. So first one is hyperconjugation. So what is meant by the hyperconjugation? The ability of alpha bond electrons. Alpha bond electrons means if there is an example is already given here, one of the it's olefin. Okay, so that is the next the olefinic carbon is carbon, that is the alpha carbon, and alpha bond means this carbon hydrogen, that is the alpha bond. Okay, so this is the alpha bond. So that alpha bond, alpha CH bond is undergoes conjugation with adjacent electrons. Okay, these adjacent pi electrons are there. So this alpha CH bond is undergoes conjugation with these pi electrons. So this CH bond break takes place, and this electron shifted here and formation this carbon carbon double bond, and this double bond rearrange here and negative charge on the this adjacent this terminal carbon takes place. So that is the this phenomena is the hyperconjugation. Okay, so for that alpha hydrogen is must. So every double bond or olefinic bond, next carbon is the alpha carbon, and that alpha carbon containing CH bond is the alpha CH bond. So that electron of that sigma bond, that CH bonds electrons are make a conjugation with adjacent pi electrons, and that phenomena is the hyperconjugation. Okay, so more the number of hydrogens, if there is more the number of hydrogens, more the number of carbon carbon double bond, more adjacent to the that more the number of CH are present for that carbon carbon double bond containing alpha carbon. So at that time the hyperconjugative structure and greater the stability. If more the CH are present, more the alpha CH are present, so more the hyperconjugation present. So more the hyperconjugation is there, so greater the stability of that particular molecule takes. Okay, so that molecule, when that alpha CH bonds is conjugation with that pi electrons and make that compound more stable. More the conjugation, more the stability. Okay, so they are engaged in the conjugation. If they are engaged in the conjugation, they require more. They got more stability. Okay, so there is one more example is there. See, this CH bond is shifted here. This electrons, CH electrons. Okay, this alpha CH electrons shifted here. Why they are shifted? Because this adjacent pi bond can be rearranged. Okay, so these are shifted in here, and after that this carbon carbon double bond break takes place, and this electron shifted on the carbon, so C negative. Okay, so this terminal, then again it's come back making double bond here, and they rearrange they also this double bond break takes place and abstraction this proton takes place, and we get this is the reversible process. Okay, so that is the hyperconjugation. So now this carbon can act as the nucleophile. Okay, so this carbon is negative now, so now it is the electron rich system. So if it is the act as a nucleophile, so due to this hyperconjugation, the reactivity of this compound stability also increases, but here reactivity of that can easily act as a nucleophile due to hyperconjugation. Okay, so there is a 3 CH bonds, so 3 hyperconjugable protons are present here, hydrogens are present. Next time here this CH bond can make these types of conjugations, hyperconjugation. Again this CH bond also can make the same thing. Okay, so one by one they can make these types of reaction gives here, then reverse come here. After that this can rearrange and make a hyperconjugation. The 3 hyperconjugable proton means more the stability of that compound. Okay, the application of hyperconjugation. So what is the application, what is the application of that particular hyperconjugation and on the alkyl carbocation? So one more is stability of alkyl carbon, to define the stability. Accordingly, this hyperconjugation stability of the carbocation is increased. Okay, if there is more hyperconjugable protons are present, so more the stability of that carbon cation can take place. So stability of alkyl carbocation is also depends on the number of hyperconjugable proton. So more the number of hyperconjugable proton, more the stability of that carbocation. Here we have, that is this the carbocation, and this is the alpha carbon. Okay, this is the center and this is the alpha carbon. Previously we discussed about the pi. Here carbocation is there. So these 3 CH bonds can shifted their electrons and making the carbon-carbon double bond to stabilize that carbocation. So here 3 CH bonds are present, means 3 hyperconjugable proton, 3 on here, 3 on here, and total 9 in this tertiary carbocation. So accordingly, more hyperconjugable protons, so more the stability of that carbocation. So accordingly, the order of stability of the carbocation is given here. Here only 6 are there, so it is the least stable than the tertiary carbocation. This secondary carbocation is least stable than the tertiary carbocation. Okay, in the secondary carbocation, this is the secondary, so this having only 6 hyperconjugable protons. Okay, so it is the least stable, but it is the more stable than the primary, because primary having only 3 hyperconjugable proton here. Okay, only this CS3. Okay, so 1 CC bond. Okay, so here only 3, so it is the least stable than this secondary and this tertiary also. Okay, so after that least stable is methyl carbocation is there. There is no hyperconjugable proton, means this carbocation is not a much stable. This is the least stable carbocation because there is no hyperconjugable proton. No hyperconjugable proton means there is no hyperconjugation takes place. So due to the absence of hyperconjugation, no stability of that carbocation takes place, and it is the least stable. So accordingly, hyperconjugation, we can define the stability of the carbocation. Tertiary carbocation is more stable because there is a 9 hyperconjugable protons than the secondary. Secondary is less stable than the tertiary, but it is the more stable than the primary. Okay, secondary having a secondary carbocation having a 6 hyperconjugable protons, hydrogens. Okay, so that can make 6 hyperconjugable protons. So it is, that's why we can define the stability of that. Tertiary having a 9, secondary having a 6 hyperconjugable protons, and primary have only 3, and methyl carbocation have 0 hyperconjugable proton. So accordingly we can define the stability. So accordingly this tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary, secondary is more stable than primary, and primary is more stable than methyl carbocation. This is the order is given. Tertiary is highest, most stable, and methyl carbocation is the least stable. Okay, so relative stability of alkene also we can define by this. Okay, so order of relative stability of different alkenes. R stand for CS3. Okay, you can define R as CS3. Okay, or particularly. So alkene stability here, this is the ethene is there. There is no hyperconjugable proton, so that alkene is less stable. Okay, unsubstituted ethene is there, so that is the least stable. that we are increasing one R stand. This we can any alkyl group, but particularly here we can for the comparison purpose we are using only CS3. Okay, so if CS3 is there, the 3 hyperconjugable protons means stability of that olefin is increases than unsubstituted olefin, this types of, okay, that is the more stable than this one. Here 2 R groups means there are the 6 hyperconjugable protons if we consider R as a CS3. Then 6 hyperconjugable proton means more the stability of that olefin takes place than this one mono-substituted than non-substituted, okay, unsubstituted. So these three are the accordingly the same stability, but there are the structural effect is there. So just for the normal things for the understanding hyperconjugation, this is you can consider, okay, disubstituted. There is, this is the tri-substituted, there is RF CS3, then 9 hyperconjugable protons are there. Means it is the tri-substituted, this olefin is more stable than the disubstituted because there is hyperconjugable proton, 9 hyperconjugable protons, and that can make a 9 hyperconjugations. So more the stability, due to the more hyperconjugation, more stability they can they have. Okay, so after that, this is the tetra substituted. There is the 4 hyperconjugable alkenes are there. CH protons will be there. So there are total 12 is there. Okay, so it is, there is 9 and there is 12 hyperconjugable protons. So it is the most stable. Tetra substituted olefin is more stable because there is more the number of hyperconjugable proton there. Okay, so less stable and more stable. This can be explained on the basis of hyperconjugations. Okay. Okay, next one is inductive effect. So in the inductive effect, the electron pair of sigma bond is slightly displaced towards the more electronegative atom in the bond. Okay, so what exactly inductive effect? There are the two different atoms are there bonded here. For example, HCl. Okay, they're having a this is a sigma bond. Okay, this is the sigma bond. So sigma bond is slightly displaced. Okay, so you know, already know, we already discussed about the sigma bond. It is the covalent bond, mutual sharing. Okay, but here what happened? Chlorine's electronegativity is more than hydrogen. Chlorine is more electronegative than hydrogen. So chlorine having a tendency to pulls the electron toward itself. So chlorine pulls the bonding electrons toward itself and make a hydrogen deficient. The bonding electron shifted, electron cloud displaced towards the chlorine atom. So chlorine possesses delta negative charge because it's, all the electron cloud from the bonding is on towards the chlorine side. So accordingly, hydrogen can become a deficient and chlorine is a somewhat electron rich. So accordingly, chlorine possesses delta negative charge and hydrogen possesses delta positive charge. Okay, so that is the inductive effect. The electron density in between two unlike means non-same. Okay, this is the unsame compounds atoms is not uniform, and the electron density denser towards the more electronegative atom of that two atoms. Okay, there is chlorine is more electronegative, so chlorine uh, chlorine possesses more denser electrons towards cell. Okay, there is if some example is there, so it is the ethyl chloride. Okay, so inductive effect in the case of ethyl chloride may be represent as below. Okay, so that is the, this is the chlorine, you already know the chlorine is more electronegative than this CS2. So now chlorine pulls the electrons towards itself. Okay, the bonding electrons, this bonding electron with carbon. So chlorine is more electronegative than carbon. So carbon, so that chlorine pulls the electron towards itself. So electron cloud from that sigma bond is shifted towards the chlorine. So chlorine become a more electronegative. So more electronegative. So chlorine become a highly electronic. So there is electron cloud on the chlorine is more. So that's why chlorine possesses delta negative charge. And due to the deficiency of electrons, this methylene group possesses delta positive charge. Okay, now there are this carbon are the same, but this carbon is already deficient because chlorine um, pulls the bonding electron towards itself. Accordingly, this is the deficient. Now it is deficient. So now there is no same similarity of the electronic similarity here. So this is the deficient carbon. So it's also pulls the electrons towards itself, and that this is due to this chlorine. Okay, so we can say this chlorine's effect on this CS3 also. Okay, so accordingly, but there is not same effect as like this carbon number first. There is a less effect because it is the next to that carbon takes place. So there is delta positive. Okay, this carbon is delta positive. This carbon is more deficient. Okay, so because it's directly attached to chlorine. Okay, this is the indirectly attached, but some of the effect of that chlorine also on this carbon. Okay, in above example, chlorine acquires slightly negative charge, so delta negative, and carbon atom slightly positive charge, del positive, isn't it? The bond is polarized, so chlorine pulls the electrons towards itself and makes the carbon atom electronically deficient. So positive charge on the carbon first atom is relayed to the adjacent carbon 2. Okay. Here inductive effect, it is the permanent effect but feeble. It is the permanent effect because sigma bond is permanent, or sigma bond is there. So for that there will be this is the permanent effect. It is bond through effect. Okay, so it is the permanent effect, and other strong factor are overshadow this die. Okay, because inductive effect permanent, but it is the feeble, means weak. There is not a directly donation. There is the only slightly displace that particular electron cloud towards the more electronegative. So if there are another factor is there, another effects are there. So at that time, this inductive effect may be uh, feeble, or it's maybe overshadow. Another factor overshadow this. This will be die. Okay, so it is the transmitted through the sigma bonds. The polarization of sigma bond due to the electron withdrawing or electron donating effect to the adjacent group or atom on account of electronegative difference between the two atoms. Then the chain of the carbon atom takes place. Okay, so so magnitude means effect of that inductive effect, it decreases while moving from the center to origin. Okay, so center to origin, we are going away from that particular uh, electronegative atom. That inductive effect means there is magnitude is decreases. If they influence the chemical and physical properties of it, influence the, you already know, there is difference in the electronegativity. There will be the to polarization of that bond takes place. So polarization of bond takes place. There will be some factors, some other things can takes place. The properties can affect on the influence the chemical and physical reactivity properties of. Okay, so it is donated by I. There are the two types of inductive effect. So types of inductive effect, there are the electron withdrawing, so minus I effect, and effect C around the more electronegative atoms or a group. So we will discuss this on the next lecture. Okay.